All right, well, it's Thursday, so you know what that means.
What does it mean?
Tomorrow's Friday.
Yeah, that's true.
It's close to the weekend. No, it's Mail Call. I'm Justin.
I'm JP.
And we are the Podcasting Dead. And as I say every week, if you're tuned in now, odds are you listen to this podcast regularly, so there's not much need for an introduction. But if you did just happen to find this and you're wondering what in the world was Mail Call, well, we are the Podcasting Dead. We podcast about everything from paranormal to conspiracy to TV show and movie reviews to video games, all kinds of stuff. So we're just kind of a whore of a podcast. Feel free to hit that subscribe button, maybe stick around because this is the part of the week where we take listener questions, which always leads to some very interesting conversation. So we'll give more information about where you can find us on social media and all of that after the podcast. But right now, JP, I think it's about time to get into it. Do you want to go first? You want me to go first? What we've done, we've been through some changes as far as how we decide who reads the questions. When we first started, I read all the questions. Then for a while, JP read all the questions. And we had cue cards at 1 week, and then last week we went back and forth, and I think we finally found what we're going to do each week. I've taken each one of your questions, put it on a piece of paper, and chopped it up and thrown it into a box. JP and I are just going to alternate back and forth, reaching into the box, pulling out a question, and answering it that way. So without further ado, let's get to the questions. JP, do you want to answer first, or you want me to answer first?
Yeah, I'll reach in. I wonder if people can hear the sound.
Hold on, wait. Keep doing it.
Look at that. There's nothing better than that, right?
Now they can hear it. Yeah.
All right. Let's see what we got. I'm unfolding. Unfolding's half the fun. Ooh, I got a good one. Okay, Heidi from 6 days ago. Yeah. Oh, I love Heidi. Do you have any unpopular opinions about The Walking Dead? Here's my list. Rick was not my favorite character. Glenn was, and still is my favorite, and Abe was my second favorite character.
Abe rocked.
I never liked Carl. I have always hated Maggie, and I hope she's never coming back.
Wow, she's just getting raw on here.
Daryl and Carol should never be a couple because they are like brother and sister.
I can agree with that.
I think more like aunt and nephew, but yeah.
You just think Carol is just an old lady, don't you?
I'm not attracted to her at all, man. Ain't got no ass, ain't got nothing. Okay, I don't hate Scott Gimple.
Oh, okay.
I have seen many people saying that Season 9 is their favorite. My favorite is Season 6 and 7. I kind of liked Enid and didn't want her to die. I don't know if I ever want to see the Walking Dead movies. It's not the same with only Rick Jadis and maybe Michonne.
You have a lot of very unpopular opinions.
Yeah, I'm stoked for the movies. I did agree with you. I was never a big Carl lover.
I wasn't until later seasons. And I still didn't love him. I started liking him.
Right. So, yeah, we definitely got some stuff we agree on, Heidi.
Season 9 wasn't my favorite, but it was a really good season.
Yeah, it was really good.
Like, it wasn't my favorite by any means. I think my favorites go back to, like, seasons, 3 and 4. I actually really liked Season 6, so we agree on that, Heidi. But Season 7 and 8 were two of my least favorite seasons. Mm-hmm. I mean, they had great moments in them, but they just felt so draggy. I never hated Maggie. I kind of got to where I wasn't fond of her towards the end because she was so anti-Rick.
And we didn't see her naked nearly as much as we did in earlier seasons.
Right. So did we ever... I mean, we didn't really see her naked. We knew she was getting naked.
We saw her as naked as The Walking Dead would allow.
There you go.
Which isn't nearly enough.
No, true that. I love Rick. Rick is my favorite character, but I'm with you. Abe was definitely like my second favorite. I did like Glenn. I agree on the Daryl and Carol thing. I definitely don't think they need to be a couple. I do not like Scott Gimple. I mean, I don't dislike him personally, like from seeing him on interviews and stuff. I just think some of his decisions are really stupid and not well thought out. I feel like he's just very knee-jerk. I liked Enid. Did you like Enid, JP?
Take her or leave her.
I kind of liked Enid. I didn't like her the season before where she was like stepping up to Michonne and all of that. I'm like, Michonne is going to whoop your ass. But This last season, she seemed to be, being it was so far into the future, she definitely seemed to have grown up and been a little bit more mature. Got over that angsty teen phase. And I am very excited for the Rick movies, but I do agree it is going to be weird seeing him without the rest of the Walking Dead gang that we're used to seeing him with. But
Yeah,
I mean, hell,
I'm excited.
they'll probably all be killed off by then, anyways.
Yeah, it could be.
All right,
so reach in.
Let's reach in. Let's see what we get. I want one of the big ones.
Oh boy!
Like you're awaiting your fate, right?
Yeah.
All right, so Kristen, 5 days ago. Oh no, wait, Kristen is. I thought it said Kristen 5 was her name. It's saying Kristen from 5 days ago. What are your thoughts on iPhone 7 and up? I still have a 6. Once they got rid of the headphone jack, I was done. Plus, I got the battery upgrade for the 6 and don't see any better features with the newer phones. I don't want a larger phone, and the camera is still great on the 6. Plus, this phone was $1,000, and that's insane to pay off again.
Yeah, can't argue with that. I went from the 5 to the 10, so I don't really know what things were like in between. But, if it's still working, man, it is just hang in there with it.
Yeah, I mean, if it's still working. Now, I had the iPhone 6, and surprisingly, I had the iPhone 4, 4S, and then the 5S, and then I got the 6. And the iPhone 6 was the only iPhone that ever gave me trouble. And I didn't hate it, but it just I don't know, it would lock up. It was just...
and that's what kind of spurred you to go to the Android.
I switched to Android, give that a try. There are things I do miss about the Android, but at the end of the day, I did miss the iPhone, so I went back. I've got the iPhone XS, and I love it. A lot of cool features in it. Number one, the camera is way better than the 6. So, camera upgrades, if you take a lot of photos... It's totally worth it. For me, it's worth it. I mean, yeah, it does suck to have to pay off another $1,000 like I did with the 6, but at the end of the day, I love the features. I love the all touch screen. It's fast. It's beautiful display. But like JP said, if it's working for you and you don't have the desperate need for the XS, I don't think it's something you got to do. I think if you feel like you're financially able to justify spending that kind of money and you want it, then go for it, which they just announced the iPhone 11, which, to be completely honest with you, didn't look like... I really thought they were going to come out and promote it, and it was going to make me really jealous that I got the XS and should have just waited for the 11, but to be honest, the 11 didn't really blow my mind in that way. Like, I'm fine with my XS. But I'm with you on the larger phones. I don't like big phones. I got the Galaxy 8 Plus last time, and to be completely honest, it was a bit too big. The iPhone XS is about the same width, so it could be a little thinner, but it's not too tall. Like, it fits in my pocket and don't take up as much room. Yeah. But yeah, so I like the iPhones past the 7, but if the 6 is working for you, I mean, one of our coworkers still has the iPhone 6, and he uses it a lot, and it's still a trooper. So if it's still working, and you don't, I stay with what works,
Oh, my turn.
Your turn. Where'd you go, JP? I need you here.
Let's see. I got a nice little sliver. All right, Jeep. I got Jeep. 6 days ago, and it was even edited. Okay. It was a little bit of a bumpy ride, but I'm still here. Had some tornadoes in the area, and the power was out most of the day, but still here. Mail call. Why don't you guys do a morning radio show together? I bet you guys would crush the competition. Just do it on a rock station, because I don't do country. LOL.
Well, we do on-air stuff together. We do a lot of commercials together, and I have JP on my morning show.
But yeah, we bounce back and forth.
We're morning talents. Like, we have morning shifts, not necessarily morning shows. Like, we're on there, and we'll read cool things that are happening in the world, but it's just the owner of our stations isn't keen on the idea. We've been begging for a morning show for years and years and years, but just not something he's into. I agree. I mean, I'm trying not to sound too cocky here, but I think that if we did a morning show, especially, JP, I think you would agree, in our area, like a full-on morning show, I think we would kill it. I think that they would crush some competition.
Yeah, I mean, there's really nothing like that anymore in our little area.
No, so I mean, more so for us here than even somewhere like Myrtle Beach. I feel like a full-on morning show in this area would be something people need, people want. They don't really have anywhere to get that. And one of the only morning shows you can really get here, they just fired the guy who had been doing it for like 20 years, and everybody's furious and boycotting that station. So, I mean, we could just provide them a new, fresh morning show. So, Jeep, I'm glad you have faith in us. It means a lot. But unfortunately, until the owner has as much faith in us as you do, That's not going to happen.
Yeah, in my opinion, it's just another symptom of the slow death of FM radio. Just short-sighted people who want to cut out everything that makes it unique and cool, and
Yeah, like local DJs, man. That's one thing I always loved about stations growing up. Like listening to morning shows, even the famous morning shows where it was like not syndicated per se, but just super, super popular. Like the one where they just fired the guy I'm talking about. Like he was a local guy. You could meet him, but he was a celebrity to me. You know what I mean? You listen, and this guy just had hundreds and thousands of people that loved him. But it was really cool that he was a local guy, which is in North Carolina. But, a local guy that was maybe an hour away from you. You know what I mean? Versus some big celebrity like Ryan Seacrest. And most FM radio stations now just straight up have no faith in like the power of a popular local personality. Mm-hmm. It's just like, well, if we're going to get a personality, we'll syndicate something like Elvis Duran. We don't no. How about you just give your talents a chance to like I said with the morning show, I have no doubt we wouldn't kill it.
Yeah, we thank you, Jeep, and we'll see what the future brings.
Buy the radio stations.
Yeah, buy the radio
stations. And then let us do a morning show. I think that's a great solution.
Yep.
Reaching into the box. Let's make sure they're all over here. Oh, there's a strap. Oh, great. Now it's into the mix. All right, let's see here from M&J.
Ooh.
All right, so, hi, I'm Mark. Hi, Mark. You guys are great. Thank you. Answer these questions for each other. Okay. What are your biggest fears? What are your biggest fears, JP? You have to answer for me. I have to answer for you.
Oh, geez, this is going to be hard. Your biggest fear.
I've said it a couple of times. I mean, what is my absolute biggest fear? I've got one thing that I'm pretty scared of, but I can deal with it if I need to.
Heights.
That's the one I can deal with if I need to. Yeah. Correct. What's the thing I've said is my biggest fear?
Jeez. El Chupacabra? I don't know.
I mean, well, as is all of us, right?
Yeah.
But drowning.
Oh, yeah.
I've said that. Yeah, I've said along like drowning is my biggest fear, man. Drowning, just the thought, it freaks me out. Even though I love to be in the water. JP, I think your fear. I don't know what your biggest fear is. I don't know that you've said it. You don't like heights.
Well, it's more like existential than like a danger.
I mean, there's got to be a danger you're afraid of, though.
I mean, nothing like. I mean, I certainly don't want to drown or burn to death or anything like that. But I don't have it's not something I dwell on. If I'll just go ahead and say it. Just the idea of just being stuck in one place for the rest of my life. That's something I really fear.
Well, I can join you on that because that definitely the thought of never moving to something bigger and better and all of that, even if that's with you, like the podcast was to go on to bigger and better things, and the thought that it never would and it would be stuck here, that's a terrifying thought.
Man. I've never wanted to just get stuck in my hometown, and the crazy thing is, in recent years, I mean, I have started progressing, left my 10-year grocery store job. I'm doing something that's really cool now, but it's just that gnawing thing in the back of your head, and nothing's ever going to get better than it is now, blah, blah, blah. You
get a twofer on that one because, mine's drowning in that. But, I feel you on that.
So, mine are very existential woes.
Yeah. Well, physically, my biggest fear is drowning.
Yeah.
As far as
dude,
existential, my biggest fear is definitely just
dude, that is getting my dad drown. I mean, it's always something I've thought about. It's not a good way to go.
I forget that when I say that. That's my bad.
No,
it's a little bit
I'm not.
insensitive.
No, it's not something I'm sensitive about. I mean, and one good thing on his aspect is I'm pretty sure he was knocked unconscious, so he didn't have the sensation of
right.
He was probably unconscious. But no, man, I just say that just because it's germane to the conversation. It don't bother me.
What's your first pet's name? I don't know what your first pet's name is, and I doubt you know what mine is.
I don't know yours either.
My first pet's name, I guess as far as that I remember, you do know Charlie. Charlie is my current
one I know of.
But I guess Max, that's the first one I remember. He was a Rottweiler.
I've never been able to say that right. Did you name him after the dog in Terminator 2?
I don't know what Dad named him after, perhaps, but that's the first pet I remember. As far as the first pet that was mine, I had a dog named Dancer. She was a chocolate lab. She was already a year or two old when I got her, but she was wonderful. Such a great dog. What was your first pet's name?
It was a collie named Oski. I didn't name him. I think my parents had a dog named Oscar, and after Oscar died, the next one was Oski. Now, it doesn't exactly roll off the tongue, but it was a good dog.
Hey, that's all that matters.
Yeah, until he got smashed by a car.
Oh, that's what happened to Dancer too, brother. So that does happen. What's your favorite sex toy? I know what JP's is.
Oh, man.
I shouldn't probably talk about that on the podcast.
Well, look, Amazon, they're not always so discreet. And, Justin, of course, I'll let him use my Amazon Prime.
Which is funny because my girlfriend and I have Prime, but sometimes I'll use JP's just so, I could just order stuff and not feel like I am being judged.
Right. No, I mean, look, I'm, as a lot of fellas in a, ongoing sexual relationship with a lady, sometimes some anal stimulus is a really, it's a really great thing. It is. It's not something I go in for all the time, but look, that prostate is there for a reason, and you talk about a cumsplosion, and I'm not. Look,
you're really dragging it out. Do you want me to just all right? So, I logged into JP's Amazon one day to order something, and the first thing it showed was a giant black dildo, a giant black studded strap-on dildo.
Strap-on, yeah. Which, by the way, I've never used anything like that.
I told you, I said, man, I'm not judging you, dude.
Right.
I'm not kink shaming, man. Whatever you're into is what you're into. I saw nothing. This will not, and until now, publicly in front of hundreds and thousands of people, I hadn't told a soul.
Sure. I
hadn't told my girlfriend. I hadn't told anybody. That's a funny secret that I have kept to myself now for about 6 months.
Yeah, but no, as far as actual things in use, just something, long and slender with some vibrating action, never something the size of a summer sausage. Or just a finger can work. But anyway, enough about my butthole.
I guess Fleshlight would be one, right? I mean,
I've never used one of those.
I guess. I don't know.
I'm afraid, man, I'll get to going with one of those and for some reason I'll just go to pull it off and my whole dick will come off. I'm very
I mean, if it had teeth, maybe.
I don't know, man. I'm just
if it had saw blades lined around the inside, perhaps, but
I'm just worried. I'll be that first person, and at least, though, I'll get to sue the people and make $1 billion, but I'll still be without a dick, so...
What's your favorite beer? Mine has changed recently, so I'm curious to know. Yours is, you just like IPAs.
I like IPAs, man. I was there. A local brewery here had a rum barrel stout, man, that I really enjoyed. It was like a 9 point. It would get you
You're
there.
getting close to my favorite beer.
Oh, is it a stout?
Well, it's kind of. It's like you said, rum barrel. It's something similar.
Is it that whiskey barrel?
Yes.
Thing?
That's probably my favorite beer I've ever had.
I tried that the other day. It was just a little too strong for me. Not like alcohol content.
Well, the whiskey taste is. You got to like the taste of whiskey. If you don't, you're not going to like it.
Yeah, and they've had whiskey barrel beer there before, and it was just a little too much for me.
I loved it, man. It's basically beer that they've taken and they've put it in old whiskey barrels and they let it soak, and it kind of takes the flavor. So when you sip it, you get this strong, stout beer taste, and on the kind of exhale, I would say, you taste some whiskey. Yeah. And, it's so good, man. That's at a local brewery here.
And other than that, Ice House Edge, that's kind of like my go-to. If I ain't got $10 for a 6-pack of craft beer, I'll get an Ice House Edge.
I mean, I'm kind of a beer whore. I mean, I like all kinds of beer. I like Michelob. Bud Light was my favorite for years and years. Bud Light and Budweiser. I could do Budweiser as well. Michelob Ultra, my girlfriend started drinking that when she was doing the keto thing, and it was no carbs or whatever, or low carbs. And so I kind of got on drinking that for a while because of that. But, it's not really that strong of a beer, but I mean, it's kind of a go-to because she can drink it, I can drink it. But I mean, I like something a little bit strong. I love Hefeweizers. That's one of my favorites, or however you say that. Pale ales, amber ales. It's really hard to narrow that down to one, but if I had to pick one, right now, you can have any beer, snap your fingers, it would be that whiskey barrel stout they have. All right, 5, hot dogs or burgers? JP, I'm going to go burgers for you.
Yeah, and I love a good Jesse Jones hot dog. We're in the South, so those red wieners really hit the spot. But, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to eat hamburgers more so than hot dogs.
And what about me?
I guess the same. I mean, I know we both love a good hot dog special, but are you going to say you really love a hot dog better than a hamburger?
No, you're supposed to answer for me.
That's what I'm saying.
You're saying that I would pick what?
A hamburger.
You're right.
Yeah.
You know, nothing makes me happier than a nice cheeseburger. We go to a local place down here, down the road. It's like a diner, and they have some delicious burgers, man.
Yeah.
How do you like your steak cooked? How do I like my steak cooked, JP?
Oh, what, medium rare?
Yup.
Yeah. I hover between medium. Oh, well, I guess you're supposed to answer.
No, I was gonna say. I mean, I think you like yours medium rare, but you're probably more medium.
I hover, but if it's a really thick steak, medium rare sometimes can be a little bit much. But yeah, I hover between medium rare and medium.
What is your favorite Walking Dead character? Who do I think your favorite Walking Dead character is?
I guess yours is Rick. You said he's your favorite character.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, Rick is my favorite.
It's hard to argue with that. He's a boss.
Yours was Michonne for a while.
Yeah.
Michonne. I keep saying Michonne. Michonne was yours for a while.
I love her. There's one, though, man, that I really love above all else. He's been gone for a long time. He was a little bit of a villain, a little bit of a good guy.
Shane?
No.
The governor?
No, but you're getting close.
Oh, Emma? A little bit of a good guy, a little bit of a bad guy.
Yeah, he was in season 1.
Oh, Merle.
Merle. There you go.
That's a lot. I felt a lot of people love Merle, man.
Yeah, I love Merle.
Like, I saw a thing that was like, you were a racist douchebag, but you were our racist douchebag.
Exactly. Ooh, is it my turn?
It is your turn, my friend.
Golly, we got a bunch in there, don't we?
We do, yeah. Yeah, we keep this up. We'll continue with mail call.
Brianne McCann.
Hey.
What would you want to be buried with to use in your afterlife? For me, it'd be my weed stash and a bowl in which to smoke it.
2 on that.
Yeah.
I mean, it ain't no point of carrying weapons, right? You're dead, so
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to fight anything.
Unless you're going to some crazy afterlife that's like, I don't know.
Yep. Money, if there's money needed in the afterlife, which I guess it wouldn't. But yeah,
it's like what the Greeks or something gave you the coins for when you
to
crossed
pay
the river,
pay the
Styx or
ferryman,
Thames or whatever.
All right, interesting. All right, so that's it for that one.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh man,
Just ripped it. It's Brianne McCann again. Just a thought, guys. What about podcasts regarding the upcoming season 10 of The Mothership, talking about The Walking Dead.
Right.
Lots of trailers and info coming out, so lots of opportunities to put yourselves out there and represent. Just my 2 cents. Love you guys. Brianne, we did a trailer breakdown, but I think you're right. I do think, JP, as we get closer to it, we need to start at least throwing one a week, just something talking about what we're expecting, new developments. The thing was, back when all we podcasted about was The Walking Dead, that's what we did. I mean, we podcasted about, is Maggie coming back? Where'd Maggie go? Is Daryl going to become a bad guy? We had all kinds of solid Walking Dead content, but as we branched out and started doing other things like conspiracies and paranormal and stuff, I guess after doing 4 podcasts a week, we just kind of get to where, I guess on Friday, technically 5, we're throwing the paranormals out, but we have those have already been recorded. But we kind of, it's even though it's been recorded, that's one I got to edit and get put in. So I guess after 4 or 5 days of it, you really just kind of I need a day or 2 off.
Basically, my chief concern now is just convincing Justin of the flat Earth. That's my be-all and end-all.
And he's got a long way to go with that.
I'll get there.
I don't know if you will or not.
I've subdued some hefty gals before. I'll subdue you as well. All right, your turn to reach in. No, it's my turn.
It's your turn.
My turn. Okay. Oh, I think I got a big one here.
That's what you drop. Hey, you drop one. You grab 2. Make sure that you have.
No, this is the one I'd read before.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say I don't want to miss anybody's questions. Sometimes we're bad about that.
Brianne McCann again. What criminal charge would you like to be immune to? Drug possession for me, and also maybe drive. Well, no, I wouldn't want to drive under the influence. No, just drug possession.
I would either say speeding or that, because, who don't want to carry a little Mary Jane every now and again?
Or whatever, man. If I had free reign. Anyway, yeah, that would be it for me, because I'm very much against the prohibition of mind-altering substances.
Yeah, I would probably, let me see, and, speeding, I say, I don't speed like crazy, but it just will be nice if you're in a hurry to know you don't have to worry
just
about
get that free pass.
Yeah.
Man, it kind of reminds me of that comic book 100 Bullets, man. This dude gives you a gun and 100 bullets, and you can do anything you want with them with full immunity. You could, like, assassinate the president. Really good series. And it was very strategic who he gave these to because they were, like, part of a bigger plan. But anyway, I'm sure that'll be a TV show at some point.
Very, very interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Your turn to reach in the box.
All right.
Big old black box. Big old black box.
Hey, it's blue, too.
Yeah, it's blue, too. Blue box, black box.
Kristen says Jeffrey Dean Morgan would be a great interview. He's super nice, good sense of humor, new dad, and loves animals. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I met him, Norman Reedus, and Andy Lincoln at Walker Stalker, and they were super normal and nice. I love Conan O'Brien and Jimmy Fallon, too. Thoughts? I, too, love Conan O'Brien and Jimmy Fallon. I don't know about JP, but I think Conan O'Brien's wit is one of the best in late night, at least.
I grew up watching him. I would watch David Letterman, then I'd flip over and watch Conan, even though I did like Craig Ferguson, too, so I was doing a lot of flipping in those days.
Well, who couldn't love Craig Ferguson? He had a Scottish accent.
Yeah, he's really great.
But yeah, I love Conan O'Brien. I like Jimmy Fallon, too, because Jimmy Fallon just seems like a super nice guy in real life. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen the comedians in cars having coffee or whatever with him, and he seems like he just is a genuinely nice guy, and he's, he always has really fun segments. And yeah, I would love to interview Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah,
I would love to interview him. He seems like a really fun, cool, down to earth guy. As far as people, as far as cast members, not characters,
right?
I would definitely say he's probably one of my favorite of the cast members. I mean, he's just he's got like you said, everything she said is true. So, yeah, I would be thrilled to interview Jeffrey Dean Morgan. And, Kristen, if you can make that happen, you know what I'm saying? Hook me up. Yeah, man.
My turn.
Hey.
Brianne McCann again, 5 days ago. What movie can you watch over and over and never get tired of? For me, it's Goodfellas. I can watch the heck out of that.
Do you have any idea which one it is from me?
Yeah, I know you've mentioned stuff before.
I mean, it should be.
Fight Club.
Easy. There you go.
That's a go-to for you.
Yep.
And that's a go-to for me as well. I love that movie.
Forrest Gump's another one for me. I can watch over and over. I can honestly, because I can watch the Avengers Endgame and Infinity War over and over again.
Yeah, those are good ones.
I think I saw Infinity War in theaters about 4 or 5 times and Endgame 3 times. So I mean, I can see them over and over, and it doesn't bother me.
As good as it gets. That's another big one for me. I love that. I love some Jack Nicholson.
Yeah. But yeah, awesome. Let's see.
Love you, Brianne.
You know we do. All right, let's see. A Brianne again.
Oh,
this one's actually to me. So hey. Justin, do some Jeffrey Dean Morgan more often. Probably the best out of all the imitations today. So she must have been talking. That must have been in the fantasy.
Oh yeah, the fantasy world.
If you didn't catch our Fear the Walking Dead podcast this week, there was a fan fiction part where Victor Strand met King Ezekiel.
Yeah, and you do a good Jeffrey Dean Morgan. No arguing that. Yeah.
Like I would love to just throw out a line here, but I feel like I have to kind of like get in that character.
Yeah, we got to be.
We could definitely do that. Well, definitely that. If we do, so, we had a lot of people actually comment and say they thought the fan fiction was hilarious. So we probably will do more of that, and I'll make sure that Negan makes an appearance.
I'm gonna grab another one and hand this one to you to read after I read this one.
Is this one addressed to you?
No. Okay, Brianne McCann, 5 days ago. What food have you never eaten but wanted to try? Mine is human flesh. Prepared, I mean, I don't know how it would be best prepared.
I love it, dude. What's bad is I believe you. Like there was no pause there.
I want to try every, maybe not every animal, but at least every mammal on the planet before I die. I want to taste every.
Who said that? Didn't some famous actor or singer or somebody say that one time? I want to taste every animal. Is there like a character in a comic book?
I don't know, but I mean, dolphin. Orangutan, armadillo,
dude. I don't believe you though, because you won't even eat something that has mayonnaise or onions or So
no, but
you're probably that's true, but you're probably the pickiest eater of any adult that I've ever met.
No, I would want to choose how it's prepared, but
okay.
no.
How would you want it prepared? Fried up?
What, human?
Whatever, human,
probably
orangutan?
just kind of like a big old like leg, just roasted, done rotisserie style. Some nice Greek seasoning, nice and juicy, and just bite into it. And probably a lady leg because they got that more fatty tissue, so I think it'd be tastier. I bet a man's leg would be real stringy and tough.
I'm genuinely concerned now. But what you were saying about the flavor, I mean, that's the way deer meat is. I mean, bucks genuinely don't taste as good as does.
Yeah, well, they say that's how chicken used to be. I mean, we basically genetically engineered chickens to just be fat old birds walking around that we could eat. They used to be stringy and tough too.
True that.
All right.
That's very interesting. One food that I've always wanted to try that I never have. I know there's something out there. Let's see.
Shrimp po' boy?
Oh, I love shrimp po' boys, man.
One animal I would take off the list would be the manatee. That's my favorite animal. I would not eat the manatee.
I probably would eat the manatee just to piss you off.
You better not.
Never had shark.
Yeah, I hear that it's a big industry, I think, in China that a lot of people are pissed off about.
Shark fin soup or
Shark
whatever?
fin soup, yeah. They're killing sharks just
Yeah, well,
for
they're
the fins.
pulling them in, chopping their fins off, and throwing them right back in. It's horrible, man.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, like I love eating. I would consider myself more of a carnivore, but I mean, I have a soft spot for animals. I mean, if you're going to kill an animal to eat it, at least do it humanely.
Well, I mean, the shark
and don't overindulge.
Yeah, yeah. Shark's such an important part of the ecosystem in the in the ocean.
I've never had shark, though. I don't know if I would want it. There's got to be a fish out there that I haven't tried that I would like. That's really tough. I've had alligator bites. I don't want tarantula, nothing like that.
No.
JP's is human flesh.
Yeah.
Let me think. There's got to be something. I'll think on that. We'll come back to that. I've got to be able to come up with something, though. All right. From Brienne. Justin, did you give up the gym again already, or have you stuck with it? I thank you very much have stuck with it for I've been through 2 bottles of pre-workout, so that's got to be at least 2 months worth. So I have definitely been in it. And actually, for the last 2 weeks, I've gotten JP to stick with it. So, yes, I am proud to report I've been in the gym. I am gaining size again. I'm filling out shirts, feeling good. And I've actually got JP to join in for the last week or two. So thank you for checking in on me, Brienne.
Kristen, 5 days ago, thoughts on Andrew Lincoln as James Bond. I think he's gorgeous and would love to see his career keep going. Also, which celeb farted on the phone with JP? That we cannot divulge. But Andrew Lincoln is gorgeous. I will concede to that. I don't know if I see him as James Bond.
I'm the opposite. I'm not going to necessarily say that I think he's gorgeous, but I will say I could definitely see Andrew Lincoln playing Bond. He can do anything.
Maybe. I mean, I'd be interested to see. And look, I'll just go ahead and say it. It was Andrew Lincoln who farted in my ear. We'll just go ahead.
You were not now. I mean, we could get sued now.
I know. I hate to say it, but yeah.
We could get sued now. So for the sake of not getting sued, it was not Andrew Lincoln. All right, let's see. Reaching into the box. Brienne, what weird food combinations do you enjoy?
With you, it's mayonnaise on everything. Everything.
I mean, a little bit, but I don't go crazy with the mayonnaise.
Gobs.
I do.
Gobs.
Now, that's where I call bullshit. I do not have gobs of mayonnaise. I like 1 or 2 swipes of mayonnaise on something.
This man dips French fries in mayonnaise.
That I do.
Some kind of European.
That I do. Now, that's probably what I'm going to go with just because it seems to weird other people out. My favorite way to eat fries, there's one of 3 ways, really. But first and foremost, just French fries and mayonnaise. Sometimes I'll do French fries, I'll dip it in the mayonnaise, then go over and dip it in ranch. And then sometimes mayonnaise and ketchup, which isn't that bizarre. But yeah, mayonnaise and fries is probably the combination of food that really seems to freak people out the most.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything that's weird that I combined. I ate cold leftovers. That's something people think is weird.
Weird.
But I don't know. But yeah, I ain't that creative, Brienne. I'm sorry. Brienne, once again, what would a world populated by clones of you be like?
Everybody would get along.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. With me, there wouldn't be a lot going on. It'd basically just be people hunker down in their house, stoned and masturbating too much.
There'd be no war because everybody would be too busy jerking each other off and smoking each other's weed.
Yeah, it would be a very simple world.
In my world, I mean, I feel like being it's a bunch of me's, we'd probably agree on most stuff. But then again, I am kind of self-loathing, so it might be the opposite. We might have tons of war because we all hate each other.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a very interesting question. Kudos for the creativity.
It's kind of like the Citadel of Ricks, you know?
Yeah. Because like even though they're clones of you, does that mean that they're like exact clones, or are they? So that's a good question. Let's see. Moving on through here. Let's see what we got. Only two more. Hey, there you go. Bam. Dalton Panerio. I hope I said that right. If I didn't, please forgive me. What radio station do you broadcast on and at what time? Want to give it a listen sometime. Also, where do you broadcast from? Ooh. Well, thank you so much for the question, Dalton. But unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to, for job security, I don't know that we can divulge, give you that information.
Yeah. We love you.
It's not that we don't want you to listen, because we totally would love for you to listen, but I just don't know that I couldn't get in some deep doo-doo, because we definitely can't talk about much of anything that we talk about here on the podcast, on the radio.
Yeah, and you would be... You'd be disappointed.
But Neil, believe it or not, we do not promote this podcast locally. All support that we have are from strangers. We do not have anybody locally listening. We've told just a very few people, and I don't even think they listen that much. But I will say they are in the Virginia region. Now, I do think somebody has figured out where JP broadcasts, because they've been leaving him a string of really weird voicemails.
Possibly. I'm getting to the bottom of that, and I will keep our podcasters up to date.
Have you played any of them for the podcasters yet?
No, I haven't.
I think that we need to do that. Do you still have all of them?
I've got all of them.
On your phone?
Yeah.
I think that's how we should wrap this thing up. We should play those three voicemails.
Let's save that for a follow-up.
Why is that?
That deserves its own umbrella. And I'd have to find them and stuff. So.
Yeah, so he's got them on his phone. He just don't know where they are. Yeah. That's what it is. Okay, that makes sense now.
Yes. All right, Brianne McCann, once again, what social stigma does society need to get over? Does oversensitivity count, like political correctness?
That's what I'm going with. Yep, that's what I'm going with. Political correctness. I mean, Stop being so sensitive about everything, man. I mean, I get it, right? Sometimes sensitivity, I mean, being sensitive is subjective. Certain things kind of get under my skin that won't get under your skin. But at the end of the day, like if it's a comedian, it's a comedian. If you don't like it, that's my I think the stigma, I'm going to agree with you, but I'm going to go with something different just for the sake of conversation. But it's kind of the same. Society needs to get over the stigma of just because I don't like it, you shouldn't do it.
Right.
Like it's like that way with things, which I mean, we've got, gay marriage is now legal, but it's things like marijuana use. I don't like marijuana, so I don't think anyone should smoke it. Okay, how about this? How about you don't like marijuana, so you don't smoke it? Two men together ain't right. Okay, well then, hey, here's a good suggestion. You don't get with other men and let Steve and Pete do their thing down the street. I hate, you've got that so much. I don't think there should be drinking on Sundays. It's church. Okay, well, maybe not everybody goes to church. So what about those people? Why do they have to? So I think the stigma society needs to get over is just the thought that if I don't like it, no one else should be able to do it.
Absolutely. Spend a Sunday getting drunk and high and having sex with men.
Yep.
And and then you'll have an informed opinion.
Oh man,
sounds like my last Sunday.
Man, there's so many things I think to say, man, but I just don't. I'm telling you, one day there's going to be a podcast where I'm the one that just says whatever comes to mind, and it's going to be.
He was clean.
Kim Younger, if you could live the next 24 hours and then erase it and start over just once, what would you do? Once again, great podcast. Thank you, Kim. JP does a good job.
All right, explain that one more time.
If you could live the next 24 hours and then erase it and just start over just once. Oh, gotcha. So basically you can just do whatever you want for the next day, and then it does not matter because you can start over. So basically if I wanted to go out and just rob a bunch of banks, and if I got arrested, it'd be okay because I could start over once.
So it's Groundhog Day. It's one thing. It would just be a lot of debauchery. I think you know that. Drugs and sex and
I would drink a lot. I would drink a lot. I'm not into stealing, but if I get to restart the day, then why not? Like, I would go take a bunch of stuff that I've always wanted.
Shoot, man, murder some people. Who cares?
Because they're coming back to life.
Yeah.
I don't know that I have murder in my heart, but there are some people I don't like that I wouldn't mind. If I don't have to worry about the assault and battery charges, there are a few people I'd love to just walk into their office. Girl!
Yeah, man.
Remember that time in 7th grade you called me a poopy head? And then just kick their ass, and then there'd be no repercussions.
Yep, that'd be cool.
Jonathan, you son of a bitch. Remember that milk you took and never gave back?
Cutting heads off left and right.
Remember the time you took my pizza in the school cafeteria?
Slapping bitches' asses. Who cares? You ain't going to remember it.
No, I would just go do basically you could live like a day of Grand Theft Auto because there are no repercussions.
Yeah, I'm with it.
I mean, there's no repercussions in the sense of, like, even if you accidentally hurt somebody, that they would come back the next day and it never happened. Then, my goodness, man, I'd get drunk, take a car out on a runway and just go fast. I've always thought it'd be cool to get a car and just go really fast down a runway.
Yeah. But no, man, good stuff, good scenarios, and a great mail call, man. This is a good format. I like the box and the slips. And
I figured you would.
Yeah.
I'll come up with good ideas.
Makes it very mysterious.
Yeah.
And I like the crinkly paper.
That's my favorite part of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that is going to wrap it up for Mail Call. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to leave your Mail Call question in the comments section of this podcast. And don't forget, you can also send them to podcastingdeadpodcast@gmail.com, as well as our Facebook. Speaking of which, the next time you're browsing Facebook, if you haven't already, find the Podcasting Dead, give it a like. You can find us on Twitter at Podcast Dead. Also, you can find our own personal accounts. You can find me at I'm Justin Lloyd. That's all lowercase. No apostrophes, 2 L's in Lloyd. Just I'm Justin Lloyd. That's Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, and Periscope. JP?
J_Radsaw for Instagram and Snapchat. JPSLIM on Periscope. And just hit up our Patreon. We're getting ready to cook up some cool merch. Patrons will definitely, get the pick of the litter. Of course, we're going to be giving away to regular listeners as well. So there's plenty of love to go around. But, the patrons just...
Well, patrons get guaranteed. Like each one's going to get something. Right.
Possible, yeah.
And then we'll do giveaways where we'll draw for our regular fans.
Got some awesome shirts, hats, stickers, all kinds of cool stuff coming out the works.
Yep.
Probably just wait for one more month of patronage money to build up. And we're already talking to a graphic designer. So, yeah, some sweet merch coming down the pike.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait to get that out and to you and to see pictures of you wearing the merch places.
Man.
Like, that's going to be so freaking cool. So,
sticker bombing monuments, all kinds of stuff. Sticker bombing monuments. Not bombing monuments, sticker bombing.
Sticker bombing, as in go to the Leaning Tower of Pizza and stick did I say pizza? Leaning Tower of Pizza, and stick a Podcasting Dead sticker on it. Go to the Eiffel Tower, stick one on there.
Yep. And
if you clean windows in like a big city, stick one up there that no one else will be able to get up there and take down. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We're not encouraging bad behavior, but we kind of are.
All right. But yeah, cool stuff coming. So stay tuned and get involved and make love. I don't know what else to say.
I mean, what else can you say?
I'm burnt out. I don't know.
I've been burnt out since we started the podcast. So, that's my problem is I'm burnt out before we even begin.
Yeah, man.
But, we'll catch you on, you'll technically see us tomorrow because we do have another. You know what?
Well, you won't see me. You'll see you and
We've been slacking, man. Like, we get another one recorded. This is the last pre-recorded one we've got. Man. All of your guests that I've been waiting on are not coming in.
They're going to come.
Well, I hope so.
They're going to come.
But listen to my friend Jessie and I talk about all her paranormal experiences tomorrow, and we'll see you Monday for another, I'm sure, exciting review of Fear the Walking Dead.
Yes.
I'm Justin.
I'm JP.
And we're the Podcasting Dead.
Yeah.